welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer and Melissa Belzer.
Nope.
We are passing the Choya Power Plant.
Very
Wherever the heck this is. Yeah, we just left a love. So, hey, if you need some Chester's fried chicken or Subway sandwich, Love's has got you covered. And also, you can shower there too.
Yeah.
Because I heard somebody get announced there.
Yeah, it's a truck stop.
I mean, people could legit, and I'm not trying to say this mean or anything, but people could legit, like, just drive around, in essence, live out of their vehicle with showers available and all that kind of stuff if they had to, or just wanted to, like, travel around.
Yeah. So you can do it.
I wonder, we got a friend of ours that's what he does, I wonder if that's what they do, if they got one of those. I think he said he's got one of those pop-up showers because he's got one of those Sprinter vans.
I don't know who you're talking about.
RC.
Oh.
I think he's got one of those Sprinter vans and has a pop-up shower thing outside. And sometimes I think they
have
do
showers.
Campsites and stuff like that.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Okay, we are playing car games. So
Still on list one.
Hey, we've recorded 10 podcasts since we started.
Yes.
This is the 11th one.
Yeah.
So
With 15 items on the first list.
it's all good. It's fine. I told you before we left. I have enough material for 200 podcasts.
I'm questioning.
And I kept printing because I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. But I also want to make sure we didn't get bored.
Well, and I'm ready to be done with this list. 2 more items. I don't like the next
we'll
list.
switch around. We've got tons of other lists, so we'll switch around.
I'm going to look through the other lists. All right. Last 2 items on funny conversation topics. Funniest incidents at work.
Oh, well, I may have lost a few jobs, not gotten a few raises because of what I've done at work. But, and some of them aren't funny. However, one that cost me a raise also happened at Taco Bell.
But we're going off of funny incidents.
This one was funny.
Is not a funny incident.
Oh, right. No. This one is hilarious.
Yes, this one's funny.
I'm not going to get any the other ones where in hindsight they were all my fault. But we're going to get into a funny one that all it did is cost me a raise.
Okay, well, this is just a funny incident at work. Okay.
Yeah, so instead of going from $3.85 to $4.10, I went from $3.85 to $3.95.
Just spit.
Oh my gosh, how
crazy.
bad we got paid.
That's so terrible.
You know what's funny is that, I'll digress real quick, but you remember back then at Taco Bell, you could get like a bean burrito or a taco for 59 cents.
When I was there.
And if you wanted like a Supreme or one of these special nacho trays, they were like $3 or whatever. I'm like, I gotta work a whole hour to be able to afford that.
Well, and that's just like it is now, though. You have to work an hour to pay for a lunch. That's what it is.
I was like, that's not gonna work at all.
It's the same.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
It is.
I guess it's all relative. It is. When you're making that little, it seems like such a big deal.
Right, but it's the same.
So, me and James Harness, who was involved in a lot of my antics back in the day.
James Aguirre.
Hey, I'm just going to throw him out right away.
Like the greatest people.
So, we would close the store a lot of times. And in fact, if I didn't work a shift with him, I was like disappointed.
It's boring.
It was definitely boring.
Taco Bell was boring if he wasn't there. I was like, oh, James isn't working today.
So I'm jamming out in the lobby because we would turn off the music there in the lobby because this is before Taco Bell played like good music in the lobby. Back then it was
early
like
satellite days. Wasn't it?
Was like
subscription
radio. Oh my gosh, they had it set to like they did not know their audience at all. Your audience is stoner and young adult. Please, it is.
Yeah. And
young family, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it'd be freaking elevator music playing in the lobby, which
it's like boring.
That stuff made me angry.
Yeah.
It just legit did. So we would turn on our boombox or whatever in the back and have that playing out there. And I was out there just jamming away. I was up on top of a table.
He was on a table.
Rocking out air guitar to the broom. I had the broom going. And of course, there ended up being a meeting about it where she called out that, and I was checking in the store. This is our manager at the time. Not a very friendly person.
Yeah, she was tail end when I started, and then she quit, I think.
No, she transferred to another store. We weren't a busy store, so if you transferred out of there, you got a better store.
But I don't. Okay, because Jackie was my manager.
Because we were the edge of Peoria for that one. But anyway, she's like called out stuff that is inappropriate while you're working. You were not allowed to have fun when she was working. Period. Not understanding that this is an entry-level position. This is a lot of people's first job or don't give a F job.
Well, but you went too far.
I was dancing on the table.
But you could have danced on the floor.
But I was a quick worker. We never got out very late because we'd rock out and be out at the store 10, 15 minutes after closing. And we left a clean store. We were just workers.
Which is great.
But she didn't like to ever see any horsing around at all.
Well, because it's a safety thing. I sort of see it. You could have done their guitar on the floor. Because if you'd fallen, that would have been worse.
Okay, so 30-some years later, I still side with me.
And that's fine. For me, I can see it from a manager's perspective. That probably was a little too far.
Anyway.
I'm sure it was funny.
So first,
it was funny.
She calls it out at that meeting, and I'm thinking you were there at the time. But when she starts bringing it up, I'm like,
it was before me.
I'm like, who else was dancing on the table? That's how it went over in my brain initially. It's like someone else is doing it.
You're like, who else did that?
Yeah.
She was calling out you. Busted.
And then finally she gives me the eye, and it's like, oh.
You're like, oh crap, it's
apparently
me.
I'm the only one.
So bad. So bad.
Yeah, so that was a funny moment.
I'm not saying they were good decisions, because my funny story is they're not good decisions.
Your funny stories are not good?
My funny story that I have was also more not good decisions.
Oh, well, what was it?
But it was a blast. It's terrible. I'm not a troublemaker by nature, but it was even stressful when we're doing it, like stressful fun. Because I was like, oh man, this is going to be crazy. So when I worked at my first place of employment, we were closing. And I don't know, we just decided to have a water fight. I don't know why. I think it started with one thing, it escalated to another, and then we started pouring water all over the floor and sliding around in the soapy bubbles. It was insane. There was so much water. We ended up having to squeege it down the drains because it was too much to mop, and it was just this big water mess, and it took us like an extra hour to clean it up. It was so crazy, but it was fun. And it was just, I don't know, we just all got along. So, yeah, not a good, if somebody had fallen and gotten hurt, it would have been a bad thing. But it was funny. So, yeah, not a good decision. And I wasn't, I probably was a shift manager then, but then I had another manager above me working as well. And we made an absolute sudsy mess all over the store. It was a mess. But it was fun.
So what's the next one?
Misheard song lyrics that made you laugh.
Okay.
Oh, I can think of one, and it's not me mishearing it. It's knowing that and I can see why they mishear it. But go ahead.
No, go ahead and give yours first.
Okay, well, it's the Taylor Swift song where it sounds like Starbucks something.
Taylor Swift is one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And I'm surprised that people would not be looking up and memorizing her lyrics.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Because we've been to his Taylor Swift concert, and literally everybody around is singing all the lyrics. It was an audience
concert on the flip side. It was pretty crazy. It was like a whole auditorium of singing. But like Starbucks lovers or something like that. It's like the way people.
Oh, and it's supposed to be like starstruck lovers.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. People kept. I'm like, that doesn't sound like Starbucks, but that's what people kept saying. I'm like, what? I don't think it was a joke, but I was hearing that people were mishearing that. And probably if I think more, but that's the one that comes to mind, and it's funny because it's ridiculous.
Well, I have a lot.
He does, and this is a good question for him.
But there's one that it was years before I knew the correct lyrics.
So ridiculous.
So Toto has their classic, one of the greatest yacht rock songs of all time, Africa.
Yeah. That's yacht rock?
It's considered yacht rock.
No.
Yep, Toto is right in the wheelhouse of yacht rock.
Okay.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
I didn't know that.
I think it's AOR, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah. So they have a song called Africa. Brilliant song. And there's a line in there that goes, I fought the rains down in Africa. There's nothing that 100 men on Mars could ever do.
Which is not the line.
But that's what I thought it was. For
Yes.
years I thought that was a line. And apparently I was wrong. And it took until we got together for you to tell me that I was wrong.
I'm like, what?
I was like, what are you talking about? That's the lyrics.
No.
And I go, it makes no freaking sense.
You're right.
But, hey, it was the 80s. People did a lot of drugs. Whatever. That's the line. I fought the rains down in Africa. There's nothing that 100 men on Mars could ever do. Because why would there not be Martians in Africa?
I don't know. And it's not I fought the rains, so I wanted to pull it up to make sure. So do you still have it wrong? Because it's
Oh
not
no,
I
I'm
fought the rains.
completely wrong.
Yeah, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's not it.
Oh, I know.
To be sure. Okay.
I know. I'm wrong on both lines.
I blessed the rains.
Yep.
Down in Africa.
So somehow I heard blessed as fought,
and same. I blessed the rains.
and I
blessed the rains.
confidently belted it out.
Gonna take some. No wait. That's not the part.
I blessed the rains down in Africa.
That's at the end. I gotta go back.
You gotta.
It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do.
Yeah.
I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do things we never had.
Yeah. So I was like right on.
I'm singing it and I'm hearing it. And I'm like, those are the words he's singing. What is he singing? So I'm quiet and I listen. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh, you know what I ended up finding out is that it was real bad. Like I had a lot of the lyrics wrong in the song. It wasn't just those two lines. It was a lot of the lyrics, and that's I was confidently screaming along. So yeah.
Okay.
So we got through that whole first category there.
You didn't have any other silly ones that popped out?
I'm sure there are.
I know that's like the big one.
That is the big one.
Okay.
But we're gonna wrap it up here.
I knew that one was going to be its own podcast.
Yeah, good times. If you like the show, like, share, review, leave feedback, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. All the fun stuff.
Oh, and I guess go to dadsruleswag.com. I haven't mentioned that at all in the last 10 podcasts. But yeah, you should still do that. It's always in the show notes too.
Get this shirt.
Kick ass.
He gets a lot of compliments on this shirt. I was like,
This is probably the most popular of this one.
People stop you all the time.
This
and say
one
they love
and
that
Don't
shirt.
Be a Jerk.
Yep, I get stopped with that one because that's the one I wear. I need this one, the black. I need a good chick shirt with that on there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be.